Shalom, shalom. I want to begin this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. It's your brother Isaiah back with another video. Today I wanted to go into the importance of leadership. We understand that leadership is very important, but I kind of wanted to touch on it in this video and how we amongst the brethren, we need to respect leadership because, that's a big part of learning, and the way, the Most High sees leaders amongst the brethren, calls them shepherds, because a shepherd, leads his flock to, where they need to go. Because without a shepherd, the sheep are lost. They don't know where to go, and with leaders, they lead us, in this congregation of this word. They lead us, through the wisdom and understanding of these scriptures. The Most High sends out his shepherds, of course in this time, but we understand that, our shepherd that the Most High has sent is King David in these latter days. We understand that's in Ezekiel, the 34th chapter. If I can actually find that real quick. I know it's in this chapter, y'all. Okay, this is Ezekiel 34 and 23. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them. He shall be their shepherd. So we understand who King David is in these latter days, Brother Matthias. So that prophecy is come to pass. So what I just wanted to bring that up to go into just the importance of leadership as a whole, because we got to understand that we got to respect our leaders, and not only that, we got to model ourselves after them. Leaders have a big job, and of course when you are a shepherd for the Most High, you have a great job to do. You have the biggest job really out of anybody that, over all these people who own banks or corporations. You occupy a great office because it is for the Most High. It's not for this world. So we gotta, keep that in mind. I want to get this precept just to start. This is John chapter 10, verse 11. It's going back to the shepherd. I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So what Yahushua is saying is he's the one that is going to basically give up his life, to make sure the sheep is, they're taken care of. They're seeing him, do the right thing. So they're going to have to model after him, That's what, the shepherd does. They, of course, teach the word, but also they conduct themselves as, true men of the Lord, and how you should conduct yourself as a man of the Lord. So we have to be in that same mindset. So, hey, we got to respect, leaders amongst our brethren. We got to do that. It's very important that we do that, because, the Most High set them in that position for a reason, So it's just something to think about. I wanted to get this precept too. This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them. Verse 3, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Verse 4, Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So basically what's that saying is, if you are a leader or a shepherd, you got to humble yourself as a little child. You're basically going to serve those that you are over. You're a servant to them, But that's important, because if, you're humbling yourself and they're trying to do exactly what you're doing, then it's important that you govern yourself accordingly. You don't want to govern yourself as cocky or, arrogant. You want to humble yourselves as the scriptures say. You should want to, ultimately, you want to be a role model for those that you are over. You want them to do as you do, or even better, But most of the time it's going to be like, I'm conducting myself like this as a man of the Lord. You should be doing the same as well. We all should be conducting ourselves as true men of the Lord and following this word. And when we're teaching this word, we got to do it in a way where those that are listening are, they're being not only edified, but they're trying to model themselves after the way you carry yourself, in a sense. So the way a leader is going to carry himself in this council is he's going to be humble. He's not going to be cocky. Like I said, he's going to, he's going to be a servant to those he's over, pretty much. So we got to keep that in mind as well. Also, I wanted to get this in Matthew 7:24. Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So I wanted to go into this precept necessarily because as a leader or as a shepherd, you have to make sure that what you are saying is not going to scatter the sheep or whomever you are over. You want to make sure what you are saying and the way you're conducting yourself is a foundation for others to follow. See, with these law keepers, they don't do that. They don't go after what Yahushua said. And that's why their houses are built upon sinking sand. And I'm using Yahushua because he was the ultimate leader. He is the ultimate leader, The Most High gave him that position of leadership over us. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, So he's over everything. He's over us men. He's the ultimate leader, Of course, Yahweh is over him, but he's over us. And we must, as leaders, we got to learn from him. And then, the the ones under us got to learn from us. It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. But if we do what our leader says as men, which is Yahushua, our women who are under us, or, anybody who's listening under us is going to follow. You see what I'm saying? It's a pecking order. And within that pecking order, if there's order established and, you got a leader listening to his leader and that leader listening to that leader, it's all going to fall in place. It's all going to fall in place. So it's just very important to understand that, modeling yourself as a leader, you gotta be absolutely sure, number one, that you care for those that you are over. You've got to make sure that what you are telling or what you are teaching necessarily is not only lining up with scripture, but it's genuine love for those that you are teaching. Because if you are a leader and you're trying to show people stuff or trying to show people how to be, and you're not doing it out of sense of love, most leaders in this world, they do it for money. But us over here in the council of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, we do this out of love for our people. And that's the most important thing. You got to do this out of love for your for the people, because that's a commandment. Love thy neighbor as thyself, and those who are listening are our neighbors. Those are our neighbors. We must love them as ourselves, So I'm just trying to drive in that leadership is important, but it can't be taken for granted as well. It can't be taken as a light thing, because once you learn from somebody and you model themselves after them, which us men, we're trying to model ourselves after Yahweh Shai, we Salakia, I just lost the train of thought, what I was going to say. But yes, us men model ourselves after Yahweh Shai and what he told us to do. And we carry that out amongst the brethren that are just coming into this truth. You see what I'm saying? So we got to keep that in mind. If you go to Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 12, it says, "Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge." So, that goes for, those listening to, the leaders, but also the leaders themselves. They got to apply themselves unto instruction and hear the words of the knowledge, because before a leader was set up, he was taught. He was taught by another leader who was taught by another leader. You see, I'm just trying to get into, to show you that leaders are set up because they're not only taught, but they're able to listen and understand and model themselves after whom they were taught by. So, I use Brother Matthias to start off with, because me making a YouTube channel was really him going into this word and, me being able to understand it. And over time, believing that I've got that call to, make a channel and, be a shepherd over this channel. And, you guys who are listening are the sheep in a sense. So I got to make sure what I'm saying is lining up with scripture and, is, like I said, edifying for you guys, and that you guys are understanding, and that we're all on one accord. So, yeah, like I said, I use Brother Matthias as an example because, hey, I feel like pretty much most of, if not all, the Law Liberty channels on YouTube were modeled after what he has done. He has done. So it was a domino effect. So we just got to keep that in mind. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 11. For whosoever exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. I believe it's in 1 Peter 5 and 6 where, let me get that. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the power, that he may exalt you in due time. So we are humbling ourselves. Why? Because the Most High said, if you humble yourself, he's going to exalt you in due time. If you continue to put in the work, you are going to, reap results, basically, but you can't come into this council thinking that, oh, I'm just going to do it, and I'm better than anybody who's not doing it. You can't be in that mindset at all. You have to take on that role that Yahushua did, man. He was the utmost humble, and we got to model ourselves after that, man. He was the utmost humble when he was here, and look where he is now. He's the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. All power has been given into the hands of him, heavens and earth, So, that's how the Most High does it with leaders. He puts out humble leaders that are willing to preach this word, and those that follow after that and, of course, do what the scriptures say, he's going to exalt them, over time. He's going to exalt them in his time. So, yeah. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I just wanted to get into just the importance of leadership as a whole, because I think we kind of get the gist of it, but I felt like it needed to be going to a little bit more depth on how important leadership is, and how we should, as men of the Lord, be able to model ourselves after those that are over us. I'm not saying exactly be like them, but how they carry themselves, we should be carrying ourselves in a similar regiment. I'm wanting to get this last precept. This is Luke chapter 6, verse 40. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. So, we understand that we are disciples of, Yahushua and what he told us to do. We're not above him. We'll never be above him. But if we do as he says, we're considered perfect. We're considered perfect. So if everybody's doing what Yahushua said, and there's, shepherds set up to follow that same regiment, everybody's going to fall into that perfect line that the scripture is talking about. And we're all going to be perfect as the master, but never be over him, but never be over him. So we just got to keep that in mind when we're doing these videos. It's just important to understand that, you know, it's a, it's a blessing to be in a position to lead, people, but also you got to be mindful of knowing to also learn, like going back to Proverbs. Let's get that again. Salakia. Proverbs 23:12. Apply thine heart unto instruction, thine ears to the words of knowledge, to not only learn and apply our hearts to the instruction of the word, and gaining knowledge through this word as well, wisdom and knowledge. But we also have to humble ourselves to those that we are over and that we are teaching this word, because we want to, in a sense, be the best. I guess you can say we want to be wise men. In a sense, we want to be wise men, and just be the best that we can be as wise men of the Lord. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Like I said, I kind of was a little bit all over the place with this one, but I was just trying, the topic of leadership just hit my head because, I'm about to be into a role like that. So it was just on my spirit to talk about the importance of leadership and, what the Most High expects of us as leaders. So, Lord willing, this was edified. Giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All praises due. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.